Here we go. Eyes on the prize. What a beautiful, beautiful starter. £33. I say starter because wait, you will see what we've got. But let's put this bad boy back. Thank you for coming. You're a lovely fish. Look at the fins on him. Old fish, covered in tubercles this time of year. There he goes. Right, ladies and gentlemen, look at that belter. £48 of beautiful English carp. You know what? Might be getting on in years, but I never get fed up of catching them this big. So let's put her back, have a cup of tea, and tell you how I caught her. Thanks for coming. Hi everybody, so we've put the beast back, or £48 of it, and I very quickly, as we promised earlier, I just want to run through the little subtle changes that have made me so happy about that capture, because it's the little subtle changes that I think can make the difference in a competitive carp world. So I'll keep it brief. Basically, everybody goes on to me, what hook baits you using, Holmesy? Well, I'm using the good old LM94, but I soak them in a special liquid that I put together made up of citric acid and whiskey. It creates an ester. I've spoke long about what they do, but here's a little thing. Here's the main reason why I'm so chuffed, because I changed my rig. This was the conventional inch stiff rig that I was using last week, and you can see there we've got a nice monofilament 35-pound boom. We've got a lovely D-rig, we've got a nice big ring that I use so the silkweed doesn't block it, so it can still rise up correctly. And there we have a size 4 chod hook. Nice and neat and compact. We've got the nice rig putty underneath. Now what happened was I was playing this big fish for maybe 15-20 minutes, really big fish, and the hook dropped out. So that said to me that my hook angle was not the way that I wanted it. So where was the subtle change? Why did I do it? And how did I do it? Well, let's show you. Right, here we go. Now, we've got the same mechanics. We've got the stiff boom section, which is here. I put the anti-tangle tungsten sleeve. I cut it in half, and I put the top end, which goes onto the clip there, so it can attach on the quick release swivel fine. But the other bit, which is a clever little twist, I put on the hook section, the chod section rather, of the inch stiff rig. Now here's the clever bit. You see how I've changed the angle of the hook? By putting a PB KD on there and tying it at a certain angle, you'll see that it is almost like a circle hook. It looks bizarre, but let me tell you, the hook holes that you get, particularly in the scissors part of the mouth, this part here, is what makes the difference. So many of the modern rigs these days are aimed at hooking in the bottom part of the mouth, and I've spoke at length about if they have an underslung mouth, then you can pull out of the fish a lot. With the rig pattern that I've just showed you, which is a more circle type hook, it gets them here. Finally, myself and Matt from Total Carp have written a few bait articles this year, and one of the things we spoke about is about placement of bait. So I put, for the big ones, I don't put my hook bait in with my free offerings. One other important thing as well is I always use LM94 as my go-to bait. I'm not going to, it's not going to be a plug fest, but it contains liver, and that's the reason why it's such a superb capture. But I tend to go for the smaller sizes, which is the 15 mils. And what I do is, rather than spom them out, I get a throwing stick and I will put out 200 to 250 15mm baits every 2 hours. And I work on the basis that what that will allow me to do is that at any one time within my swim, there will be new introduced bait and there will be bait that the carp see as older introduced. Yes, you could wash them out, but because most of my sessions are 2 to 3 nights in a week, I'm very lucky, it means that I can plan it strategically. And so irrespective of whether I get bites or not, every couple of hours I'll stick out about 200 baits. So basically there's 2 little wrinkles that I think have added to the dimensions of this capture. And I won't bore you with how my season's going, but we're only in May, and let's just say I'm very, very happy. And that comes down to clear, precise thought, because catching big carp is not by accident, but by definition planned.